And our Sutapa Mataji is here to tell me whether we are broadcasting already or not.
Yes, Mataji.
We are? Okay, so let's go and double check on my side as well. Excuse me. And we are indeed broadcasting. So which verse from Bhagavad Gita are we going to do today?
6.29.
629 for 500 points. Okay. So we'll do that after we do finish these brief prayers to the special master. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Hare Bo. Okay, so we'll get started with chapter 6, verse number 29. So what is chapter 6 all about?
Jnana Yoga.
Okay. And what does Jnana Yoga mean?
Mind is fixed here.
Right. Correct. Mind is fixed. That is correct. And then fixed where?
Krishna.
On Krishna, yeah. Why did you take so long to think?
You didn't give me any points though.
I gave you 500, but then I counted the time and I was about to take away 500. Okay, you get 1,000. Okay. Jnana Yoga. So, because you answered 2 questions, right? Okay. So there are 2 things that we talk about, 2 levels of those who are dhyanis, who are, what are the 2 levels there?
Yoga-rukshu, Yoga-rudha.
and Yoga-rudha.
Very nice. And what is Yoga-rukshu?
In the pre-elevated state, Mataji.
In the pre-state, yeah.
The beginning of the ladder.
Beginning of the ladder, yeah. Haven't it maybe gone towards the ladder, right? Okay, and what's the other level?
Yoga-rudha is the advanced stage.
Advanced stage, yeah. So what happens in the advanced stage? What have you done to the ladder?
You freed yourself from all material desires.
Right. And what have you done to the ladder?
You fixed your mind to...
On the ladder?
Really, it is the highest perfection of transcendental happiness.
I'm just asking you a very simple question, that what have you done to the ladder in the yoga?
You're at the top of the ladder.
We have reached the Bhakti Yoga stage.
You have climbed the ladder, okay?
Climbed the ladder.
Yeah. So in the Rurukshu stage, you are towards the ladder, okay? And Yoga-rudha, arud means to climb, right? So
Yeah, Yoga-rudha.
So you have climbed on the ladder. Oh, cool. And what have you been talking about all these days?
About fixing the
5,
mind.
6, fixing the mind, right? How fixing the mind, right? And we talked about deviations, we talked about focusing and all that, right? So we will continue in 6.29 here, that a person who has done all those things, right? We talked about yuktahara viharasya, sleeps too little, not all that kind of balances, then goes to a nice place and sits this and that and concentrates and doesn't have material desires, as you all pointed out, so on and so forth, right? So then, and he's seeing the Lord, right? So what was the last week's verse? What did the last week's verse tell us? Okay, let's have a look at that. Junyan evam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha, right? We were talking about vigata kalmashaha. Sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. So, and we had talked about samsparsham, right? We had gone and we had given examples
constant
of
touch. Constant touch with.
And we gave some
supreme.
examples. What were the examples of divinely touch that we talked about? Some examples.
Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj.
Exactly right. So we talked about those kind of samsparsha. And then here we said that we are talking about Brahma samsparsham, right? And so this is the first level that you from the material world, you've given up your material desires, you're going towards the transcendental. So the first thing that you will encounter as soon as you get out of this material world is the effulgence of the Lord, right? The Brahma Jyoti. So here we are talking about Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham. You'll get that sukh that you can. Atyantam Sukham Ashnute. You'll get that happiness because the real happiness only comes from the Lord, by connection with the Lord. And in this connect, it is very, very interesting thing that we should always know the purpose of our existence. And sometimes we are so caught up in life. We are so caught up in life that we even forget, why am I doing something? Right? It could be my mom did it, my grandmom did it, that's why I'm doing it. I'm expected to do it, that's why I'm doing it. So we have different kinds of explanations or subtle thought processes or convictions that we have that's why we are doing it, right? Whatever we are doing, right? So somebody might ask a student, why are you studying so hard? Right? He's doing something, he's studying very hard. So you should know what is the purpose. Why are you studying so hard? So then what will be the answer?
Pass the exam.
Okay, why do you want to pass the exam?
To go up the ladder.
To go up the ladder. Why do you want to go up the ladder?
To reach the topmost.
To be successful.
To reach the topmost, to be successful. Why do you want to be successful?
Then he can earn his livelihood.
Okay, so why do you want to earn your livelihood?
Because
maintain yourself in the material world.
Why do you want to maintain yourself in the material world?
Because we are so caught up in Maya.
To sustain.
Why are you so caught up in Maya?
It is there, Mataji. We are in Maya. We are also part of Maya.
You are also part of Maya. What makes you think you are part of Maya?
Living in this
Because
world,
we are here.
We are spiritual soul. We are
But tell me one thing. Why does
Kṛṣṇa.
yeah? But tell me one thing. Why do you want to be on the top of the ladder? There's something you are seeking, right?
I want to see what is there on the top.
On the top of the ladder, is that the reason you want to climb the ladder? Is that really the reason?
I think it's for the sense of achievement.
Sense of achievement. And so why do you want to achieve something?
You want to have a purpose in life. You're seeking a purpose.
Oh, that's the question. That was the question. And we are trying to find out what is our purpose in life, right?
Purpose of
To receive the questions, we are trying to find what is our purpose in life.
To establish your identity, Mataji.
Why do you want to establish your identity?
It's our ego, false ego.
No, not our fault. The question is
I
why do you want to establish your identity? You already have
I
it.
think it's because
Our
people are
purpose is to
searching
go
for
back
something
to Godhead.
and they're searching for identity. And so they think this is it. So the achievement will allow them to know themselves.
And then what will happen? Why do you want to know yourself?
Isn't that the ultimate goal, to know yourself?
No. Why do you want to know yourself? No and yes, yeah. But why do you want to know yourself? I mean, what's the problem with not knowing ourselves?
We have to know ourselves, Mataji, because Paramatma is also there, and I will be able to recognize him also.
No, my question is not that. No, you are telling me how. I am asking why. Why do you have to know that, right? I started with a simple question, why does a student study? I was given the answer to pass the exam. Then why do you want to pass the exam? You want to be something, right? And then there you were, right? So why do you want to be something? I want to be successful. Why do you want to do that? I want to climb the success ladder. Why do you want to climb the success ladder? Why does a person who's trying to climb the ladder of success, what does he think he's going to get at that end when he reaches that?
I think happiness ultimately.
Happiness is for 1 million points. Exactly.
But don't come very
Everything that you do, you're trying to seek happiness. Why? Because we are Anman Chit Sat Chit Anand. That is what your being is. So whenever we do something, we should question and question and question and question as to why am I doing it? Right? And then we know that Anandmaya, we are Satyaj Anand. That is why we are seeking it. But now we are only seeking it, right? But how do we get it is a totally different story, right? But at least we should all understand that whatever we are doing in this material life, we try to seek happiness. But in this material world, we never get happiness. Shruti Sukham. People have only heard about this happiness. Somebody else seems to be very happy till you look inside their home and you find they are the most miserable people in this world, right? One might think that others are happy. One might think those who are very uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. And somebody might think, oh, king is very happy. When I was young, I was thinking small. I think that king is the perfect thing in life. Till, I grew up and then read Bhagavatam and Bhishma and Kaurav and Pandava. Like, oh, no, I don't want to be a king or a queen for that matter. Right? So we are intrinsically, we are trying to find happiness, and you will not get happiness in this material world. That's what the Shastras say. And so you will get happiness from something divine. So your purpose in life is to find your happiness by getting in touch with the divine, samsparsh with the divine, right? So keep that at the back of your mind for anything that you do. Question the purpose. Am I really, is it really going to lead to Kṛṣṇa consciousness and happiness ultimately in my life? Like that, right? So in this verse that we're saying that he will be free from all material contamination and he will reach a stage of happiness and transcendental loving service to the Lord, right? But in the beginning, he will only reach the Brahma Jyoti, where he will not be able to do.
Okay. But don't drink too much, huh?
Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktahara. I'm saying yuktahar means that about drinking. Okay, anyway. Yes, right? So just keep that in mind that that's what you're doing. Now, so as we are progressing on the yoga ladder and we have, taken care of all those things, vigata kalmasha, no material desires and all that, then what happens, right? So first, last verse is kind of like, it's talking about Brahma, right? Brahmanization. And now let's look at this. Sarva-bhūta-stham ātmānam, sarva-bhūtāni cātmani, īkṣate yoga-yuktātmā, sarvatra sama-darśanaḥ. Right? So synonyms. Sarva-bhūta-stham means situated in all beings. Okay? Who is situated in all beings?
Kṛṣṇa.
Paramātmā. That's a right and precise
Nice,
word. Paramātmā, right? So you see how now this verse is talking about Paramātmā. Okay? Sarva-bhūta-stham, situated in all beings. ātmānam, the Supersoul. This is your Paramātmā. And you see uppercase S. Sarva, all. Bhūtāni, entities. Cha, also. ātmani, in the self. īkṣate, the see. yoga-yukta-ātmā, one who is dovetailed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Sarvatra, everywhere. sama-darśanaḥ, seeing equally. Okay? So here, there's a word īkṣate. Right? So the īkṣate means to see. And so here, sees. And so īkṣate comes from the Sanskrit word aksh. Right? Have you seen the word aksh? Aksh means eyes, right? Have you seen the word aksh in the name of girls?
Akshata.
There you go. There you go. Right? We have a god sister. Kamalakshi. Right? Kamal aksh means eyes shaped like a lotus.
Lotus eyes. Lotus.
Like that. So, īkṣate, so that word is coming from there. Other words, you know, all that. Sama-darśanaḥ sees equally. So now, what Kṛṣṇa is saying is, a true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. Okay. Now, what is the Sanskrit for me?
For what?
For me, the word me.
Me.
Mama?
Aham.
What is the Sanskrit?
Aham.
Aham.
Yeah, aham or mam, right?
Mama.
Mam or mam. Okay. So in this verse, is there a aham or is there a mam anywhere in this word?
No.
Well, there's ātmani.
The ātmani is in the self, right? Like in the self, third person. But like mam.
Bhūta-stham.
Bhūtāni is entities.
Yeah. The
Sarva-bhūta-stham.
word is not there. Yeah, the word is not there. Mam is not there, but you see in the translation, Prabhupada is translating, right? A true yogi observes me in all beings. So he's making it very, very clear here, right? That it is Kṛṣṇa, that you see Kṛṣṇa in all the beings, right? Although it is not there. So you will notice that when Srila Prabhupada is translating these verses, you know, so he will sometimes not do a complete, like a Sanskrit translation, which even a computer can do, right? He's adding that value over here so that we stay in that path of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, razor sharp blade, like that, on that edge of a blade. We stay there and not get deviated here and there into any other kinds of thinking. And then later on, you know, it is very clear, Kṛṣṇa says, Mammanabhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namastu. Which chapter is that?
9th chapter, 34.
Very good, for 500 points, right? So he's saying Mammanam, me. He's clearly saying that, but here he's not saying that, but Prabhupada is translating because he's saying that's going to come later on. And as your teacher, I'm telling you now that this is what it means here, right? To focus on Kṛṣṇa. But then Kṛṣṇa has got various, you know, forms, right? And then in the purport, Prabhupada will go and explain that. So a true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. And so what happens when a person sees God in everything, in every living being? If I start seeing, or you, or Kusukomal Radhe Mataji start seeing Kṛṣṇa in me, in Vindhyavali, she looks at Sutapa, she sees Kṛṣṇa there, she sees Lakshmi, she sees Aruni Mataji, she sees our Varshana Mataji, everywhere she sees Simi Mataji, she sees Kṛṣṇa. Right?
I will talk to you later.
Good decision. So she will say that, so what will happen if she starts seeing like that? Will there be any change in her behavior?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, we'll treat everybody.
Become more humble.
Humble.
Right? She will be more humble, right? So, you know, now with all this digitization and all that, not now, I mean, it's been quite some time this been happening, that you can make a birthday cake. People started making birthday cake with on the icing, there is the image of the person whose birthday it is, right? Have you seen such cakes on the internet? Yeah.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
we typically will not do that because of our cultural momentum. We never do these kind of things, right? So there were cakes that were going around with the picture of the person whose birthday it is on the top of the icing. And then how do you take a knife and cut it? Right? So when you start seeing something that you relate to in any object, you know, your behavior is going to change, right? Immediately you said that if she sees God in everything, your behavior will change. If you don't see God in me, you can do anything to me. You will insult me, you know, or you will love me, and anybody, you know. anything you can do. But if the God is there, then the whole equation completely changes, right? So let's go to the translation here. And I've got too many consoles on my screen. Okay. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the Supreme Lord, everywhere, right? He sees it everywhere. He's self-realized, right? He's gone beyond the material there. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A Krishna conscious yogi is the perfect seer because he sees Krishna, the Supreme, situated in everyone's heart as the super soul Paramatma. See, now the Paramatma is coming. Īśvaraḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ hṛd-deśe tiṣṭhati. Anybody wants to take a stab at this one, or take an aim at this one, because we don't stab. Aim at this one. Which chapter of Bhagavad Gita this one is? hṛd-deśe tiṣṭhati.
Yeah.
Brāhmaṇa Gavitas.
No. That is
Not that one. Not that one.
It's chapter 18, the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Īśvaraḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ. Can you see it on my screen?
Yeah.
hṛd-deśe tiṣṭhati brāhmayam sarva-bhūtānāṁ yantar-murāni mayaya. It's a very important thing. So now in the translation, Prabhupada says, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. This is a very interesting thing. We are in this material body. Why did we get this material body? Chapter 8, people. Who read chapter 8? Right? In chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asked this question, Kim tadbhram kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama. So he's saying, Kim karma? What is karma? Right? And Kṛṣṇa is going to answer that momentarily. A couple of verses down, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, or the self. Now, this line is important coming up. Action pertaining to the development of material bodies of the living entity is called karma, or fruitive activities, right? So why did we get this body? As a result of karmic reactions, right? As a result of our karmic reactions, and of course our desires also, because we act according to our desire, right? So both of them are there. So we are situated, we get a material body to enjoy or suffer our karmic reactions. So when you are in this body, whatever has to happen is going to happen, right? Modes of material nature are going to act nonetheless, until and unless you raise your consciousness to a Kṛṣṇa consciousness level, and then you go beyond that, right? And you're able to suppress reacting immediately to impetuses that come to us from the external world, right? We had talked about how our senses go and touch various sense objects, right? And from the time that it touches the sense object and the information is sent back to us, there's a time that is taken there, and then we act on it. So as a yogi advances in devotional service, then this time between when information is presented to him and when he acts on that information, he uses his intelligence to decide whether he should act or not, right? But up until that is not happening, then the Super Lord is in your soul, and he's actually the one who is directing all that. Because the ultimate idea is that, you suffer or enjoy your karma, ultimately you'll be exhausted. Like the two birds sitting on a tree, you will enjoy sweet fruits and bitter fruits. And ultimately, when you turn your face towards the other bird, and that other bird is the Supreme Lord situated in everyone's heart, right? In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Arjun was not the supreme knower, and his decision to fight or not to fight was confined to his limited discretion. Lord Kṛṣṇa instructed that the individual is not all in all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, or He Himself, Kṛṣṇa, as a localized supersoul, sits in the heart, directing the living being. After changing bodies, the living entity forgets his past deeds, but the supersoul, as a knower of the past, present, and future, right? In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa tells Arjuna, right, that Mam tu vedana kaścana. I remember everything, past, present, and future, but you don't, right? So he remains the witness of all his activities, past, present, and future. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by this supersoul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is chapter 8 also says that, which is created in the material energy under the direction of the supersoul. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. And if I remember correctly, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, I think it is 31st chapter, which talks about the movements of the living entity. Is that what the chapter is? Yeah, that's the movements of living entities, right? And if I go to text number 1, right, Shri Bhagwan Uracha Karmana Deva Netrena. So he's talking about under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, karmic reactions, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body, right? This is a very interesting thing, right? So this is not just, don't think about male, men and women. He's just saying female and male, right? So depending on your karma, you could go into the womb of an insect or womb of a, dog or a cat or a human being, like that, right? So depending on your karmic reactions that you had and who's doing it, let's go back again to this verse. He's saying Deva Netrena, right? Karmana Deva Netrena, under the supervision of the Lord. So it's not that just somebody just, enters into a particular womb. Even among the women, what womb are you going to enter into? Womb of a devotee, non-devotee, like that. So we have to understand that everything happens under the supervision of the Lord, and which is what here also he's saying. After changing the body, the living entity forgets his past deeds, but the supersoul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, remains the witness of all his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by the supersoul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy under the direction of the supersoul, Daiva Netrena. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. A person, this is very, very important, and this is what is known as a conditioned soul. He is going to behave like that. If he is in the body of a pig, he will behave like a pig and he will eat all the gross things that a pig can eat. But as soon as he enters into the body of a human being, maybe some lives later, he will not do what he was doing in his life as a pig, like that, right? So this is very important, the spell of that bodily situation. A person seated in high-speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car, though the living entities, the drivers, may be the same. Similarly, by the order of the Supreme Soul, material nature fashions a particular type of body to a particular type of living entity so that he may work according to his past desires. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's control. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse, right? The next verse in 18 is 1862. Tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva-bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapassi shashvatam. O Shrine of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and supreme and eternal abode, right? So when we were going through that question answer session where I seemed to be drilling you, but I was not, where what are you trying to find? Peace and happiness, right? So you surrender unto him eternally. And that is how you're going to get that, right? So back to our verse again here. So Īśvaraḥ sarva-bhūtānāṁ hṛd-deśe arjun tiṣṭhati. He's seated in your heart and he's directing your movements. The Lord in his Paramātmā feature is situated within both the heart of the dog and that of a brāhmana. The perfect yogi knows that the Lord is eternally transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence in either a dog or a brāhmana. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all the hearts. And this is a very important distinction, which will be brought once again in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, right? So Kṛṣṇa is situated in everybody's heart, so he knows all that is going on. But we are only situated in our body. And so we know our own mind, what we are thinking, what our thoughts. We know only about that. We don't know what other person is thinking, thankfully, like that, right? And so that is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. So one who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see so clearly. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person can see Kṛṣṇa in the heart of both the believer and the non-believer. In the smṛti shastras, this is confirmed as follows. Ātatvacha martritvacha ātmahi paramo harihi. The Lord, being the source of all beings, is like the mother, matra, and the maintainer. As the mother is neutral to all different kinds of children, the supreme father or mother is also neutral. Consequently, the super soul is always in every living being, right? Now, here, if we go back to our verse, there's something very confusing that is mentioned here. A true yogi observes me in all being and also sees every being in me. Now, this is in contrast to what we see in day-to-day lives, right? For example, if I take this pen, if I take this pen, can you see this pen, right? And I can put it inside something, right? So now the pen is inside my fist. So that is fine. I understand that the super soul is in everybody's heart, if this is the heart. Okay? But the next sentence is saying, what does the next sentence say?
Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere.
No, in the same part, right? So a true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. That's the contradicting part, right? We understand from a material thing that here is a pin and it has gone inside. So it is inside the fist. The fist is not inside the pin, right? This fist can go inside this fist, or it can go inside a bucket. You can do that. But this fist is not inside a pin. That's what we always understand. The pin is inside the fist. The fist is not inside the pin. But here they're talking about that Lord. Every soul is in the Lord is in everybody's soul, and every soul is in the Lord.
Is in the Lord.
Right? So let's go and look. And this gets explained profusely in Srimad Bhagavatam, but is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, but in a later chapter, right? So I'm just going to bring that verse here for you, and we'll go through that verse together. Okay, it's in the right chapter. Next chapter that's going to come to us, and I think it's going to take us about a year to reach that verse, but that's fine. We are not in a hurry. It's 7th chapter, verse number 4, very famous verse. Bhūmāpo analo vāyu kham mano buddhirevacha
ahankaram iti yamme bhinna
prakriti, right? So it says earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies, right? So, in the Purport, Prabhupada is explaining, very nice verse also. The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti, or the energy of the Lord in his different Purusha incarnations. Expansions as described in Narad Pancharatra, one of the Shatvat Tantras. So what are the Purusha incarnations? Do we know? What are the Purusha? The various incarnations of Krishna. What are the Purusha incarnations of Krishna? Shraddha-devi Vishnu. Very correct, right? Those are the Purusha avatars. It's Purush, right? So in Narad Pancharatra, Narad is saying, Vishnu tu trini rupani puru sakyanya atho vidhu ekam tu mahataha shastra dvityam na andasam stitam dityam sarva-bhūta-stham tani gyatva vimuchyate. He's saying, for material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansions assume 3 Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as Mahat-tattva. The second, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, enters into all the universes to create diversities in each of them. The third, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading Supersoul in all the universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement. Okay? So, he is present even within the atoms. Which verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, Divinity and Divine Service, which we all should memorize. Which verse there tells us about that he enters into atom? Does he say that? Anywhere? Nowhere? Brahma Samhita, does he say that? Yes or no? Brahma Samhita?
Īśvara Parama Kṛṣṇa.
Oh, that is Īśvara Parama Kṛṣṇa, that's the first verse.
Chintamani Prakrita Sadmaheshta Kalpa Chintamani Prakriti. Is that the one? Mataji?
Go do that. Complete that verse. Chintamani prakara sadmani kalpa vriksha laksha
Laksha-vṛtesha surabhir abhipatintam.
So here
Lakshmi
he's talking about
sahasra
Goloka. He's talking about Goloka, right? Lakshmi sahasra
sambrama sevyamanam.
samānam Govindam Adipurusham. So no.
Madhipurusham tamaham bhaja.
Right? So that's
Lakshmi
not.
sahasra sambrama sevyamanam.
So that's Lakshmi. So he's describing Krishna in the Golok, right? But here, in the material world, as far as the material world concerned, is Brahma Samhita 5.35.
Eko pisutachetam jagadanda kotim.
Everybody.
Eko pisutachetam jagadanda kotim. Echakchidasti jagadanda
Slowly. Just try to follow my speed, right?
Echakchid asti jagadanda jayanta. Andantarastha paramānu jayantarastham Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
So which word over here is telling you? Which word?
Andantarastha paramānu
So
jayantarastham.
what is anda? What is the deal with andantarastha?
Andantarastha means
No, the Paramanuchaya, the atom.
atom.
Yes, Parmanu is atom, right? So he's
Yeah.
situated in atom. And what is andantara then?
It's situated
Andantara
within.
which is scattered through the
Scattered
universe.
throughout the universe.
Anda antarastha. Anda antarastha. Antara means scattered, na? Antar means there is space between. So they are scattered, right? Throughout what?
The universe.
Universe. What is the Sanskrit for universe here in this particular thing? This compound word.
Andantaram.
Antara means you said scattered, right?
Jagatanta.
Sorry?
Jagatanta.
See, antarastha means
Jagat
are scattered. Right. Antarastha means they're situated. Like, why? They're situated with these distances between each other. So that means scattered, right? And then universe. So where is universe?
Anda is the universe.
Jagat under Jagat.
How are you going to Jagat? How are you going to
No,
Jagat?
then Anda is the
Just
universe.
stay here.
Anda.
Stay here.
Anda is the universe.
Anda.
Anda, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Anda. So what's the deal with Anda? Why are you saying Anda is universe?
Because it
Because
is
it's
in the
round.
shape of
Okay, so tell me just about any Anda you know in life other than
Why is there so
Shraddha.
much noise, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, there's
We
background
can't hear
noise.
you.
I don't know from where. It's not coming from my place. Can you all mute yourself? Okay, good. Yeah. Just unmute yourself when you speak. So my question was that Anda, and they translate that into universe. I was asking you why this.
Anda is And round. No.
Anda is round.
Yeah.
Oranges are round.
Can you repeat the question, Mataji?
My question was that, we said anda antarastha, right? So then we are saying anda antarastha. Antarastha is scattered. And then anda you said is universe, right? So my question to you was that why are we using the word anda?
Universe looks like round
In that
one.
shape.
Yeah, so give me that answer. You don't have to do super research, right? That's the answer because it looked like. And what's another word for our universe which rhymes with anda? Rhymes with anda.
Brahman.
The name for our universe with rhymes with anda. Come on. Anda.
What, Mataji?
Come on, class. Come on, unmute yourself. Give me other names of universe. What are our universe called as?
Bhumandal.
Bhumandal is inside the universe. What is the entire universe called? Brahman. No?
Brahman. Oh, yeah.
Simple, right? So Brahma Anda, right? Brahma is controlled by Anda. Brahmand, right? So that's where it is coming from. Okay, so let's go back to our thing. And I just wanted, so here they are saying that Prabhupada has talked about the three Vishnus, okay? Now we're going to rake our memories and we are going to look at the three Vishnus, right? So I did a simple Google search for images to get us images of Vishnu and we will see the different types of Vishnus, okay? So here we are. First thing, first Vishnu we always say is Mahavishnu, okay? Mahavishnu, right? Mahavishnu is lying in the waters of the causal ocean. So he's lying in causal ocean. So I don't want to go to Quora for this. Okay, but maybe the picture, not this one. Oh, what happened to this one, right? This is a picture from ISKCON artist. So this is Mahavishnu, also known as Narayana sometimes, right? And also known as Karano-dakshayi Vishnu. So Karan means cause.
Causal ocean.
Cause, right? Karan means cause and Udak means water. So Karan plus Udak becomes Karanodak. And
Shai,
Shai means one who is lying down. And then Vishnu. Okay. So Vishnu is the Narayan or Karanodaksha Vishnu is the Vishnu who is lying in the waters of the causal ocean. Okay. And from this Vishnu, from the pores of his body, right? The Roma, right? You have that verse in Brahma Samhita. From the pores of his body, all these universes, the Brahmans, they come out, right? You see all these circles over here? These are Brahmans in different direction. And where are these Brahmans hanging? They're hanging in the Brahman effulgence, right? That is coming from Kṛṣṇa in the Golok Vrindavan, right? Kṛṣṇa is over there. So, right? So Lakshmi Sahasra Saraswati, that all verses. So that is where this is happening. But then there's another word that says Golokadhamini Jadhamini Hare Tatasya. It says that, from below Golok, Godham, there is Haridham, Shivdham, like that. And then finally our place is coming. So now this Vishnu, is from his pores, all these universes are maintaining. This means where are these universes? They are inside him, right? That's why they are able to come out. Okay. So when Vishnu is saying that every being is in me, right? This is what you think about, right? Every being is ultimately inside it. At the time of devastation, when this whole universe is devastated, all of us living entities are going to go and sit inside his stomach over here. Unless we are smart enough to get out of this material world, go to Golok Vrindavan or go to any of the other Vaikuntha planets which are there over here in this part, right? All these are material planets. So you are with me on what is Karanodakshayi Vishnu or Mahavishnu? Are you okay?
Karanodakshayi Vishnu.
Karana, right? Causal, the cause. He's the cause of the whole creation, which scientists also will explain, and they say there's a big bang theory. Some kind of a bang happened and all these universes were created. That's what the Big Bang theory says, right? Without acknowledging that it is Vishnu who is the cause of that bang, right? that every universes are coming out of him. So that is our Vishnu, where we say all beings are inside the Vishnu. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to look at inside one of the universes. It could be any universe. Universes are of different shapes and sizes, right? So our universe is not that big, but it is there. Okay. So if you look inside the universe is like an egg, right? So when you look at an egg, the egg is half filled with water, right? The white thing that you see in the egg. So similarly, our Brahman, if we now start looking inside this is also half filled with water. What is that water called?
Karana.
Garbh-udak, right? That water inside the ocean, inside the universe is called Garbh-udak. And the Vishnu who is lying on that is therefore called Garbho-dakshayi Vishnu. Okay? So you see this picture of the Vishnu over here. He is the Vishnu. He is lying on the Garbh-udak over here, and his feet are being pressed by one Lakshmi. In Golok Vrindavan, Lakshmi Sahasra. There are thousands of Lakshmis in Golok. But here for this Vishnu, only one Lakshmi. Right? She is pressing, and this is Sheshnag. He's lying on the bed of Sheshnag on the Garbhodak in the Vishnu. So this is inside the circle, the bottom part of the circle. I'm saying where there's water and he's lying on the top of water. Now from the navel, right? From the navel, this is also the same picture, a little bit more illustrative. So I'll just take this picture over here to go and explain. So remember, we have gone inside of this circle and now we are looking over here. So this is our Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. You see the Garbhodak over here. And from his navel, there is this lotus stem that they are seeing. And on the top, there is Satyaloka or Brahmaloka, where Brahma lives. And so all the 14 planetary systems are here, right? Laid out over here. So if you look from far, it looks like as if it's a lotus stem. So it's not like there's a lotus stem and inside the stem you're like that. It's just a metaphorical way of saying that. But these planets are arranged like that along this way. Okay. So this is the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Okay. So he's at the bottom of our universe. So as far as expansions are going, simplifying the expansions, there is this Mahavishnu. And then so from his body come all these universes, and he is expanding and going into each one of these universes in the form of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Okay? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Unmute yourself and say yes or no. All right. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, inside this universe, there are 14 planetary systems. All the planetary systems, they will have human beings, plants, animals, demons. Everybody will be there, right? So atoms. So then what happens is that this Garbhodakshayi Vishnu is going to expand, right? He's going to enter each and every atom. He's also going to enter your heart as Paramatma. Okay? So he enters your heart as Paramatma. Then we will say that he is inside you. When we say we are inside him, we are talking about this Vishnu. When we are saying Vishnu is inside us, we are talking about Paramatma, right? And how do we see the Paramatma? How do we visualize the Paramatma? Like this. On the picture of Ishopanishad book, this is how the Paramatma looks like. You see 4 hands. He's a Vishnu, right? Kṛṣṇa is 2 hands. Okay? Kṛṣṇa is there in Golok Vrindavan with 2 hands. And these Vishnus have got 4 hands. Right? He has also got 4 hands. Like that, right?
Mataji, can I ask? Karana-dakshayi Vishnu, how come Lakshmi is not there?
Well, I have never seen him with the Lakshmi over there.
Because
he comes over here.
Dakshayi Vishnu, Lakshmi is there.
Yeah. How many Lakshmi do you want for Vishnu? I have never seen that Lakshmi. It's a good question. Yeah. Maybe she's there and not shown because he's an expansion of Kṛṣṇa, and wherever Kṛṣṇa goes, Radha will go as an expansion like that. But we can do a little bit more research on that. But he's never shown
Vishnu also I can see.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
One at a time.
Mataji, I have heard in one of the lectures of ISV only, one Prabhuji had come and had given, and he said that Lakshmi ji is extension of Srimati Radharani.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That Radha stays with Kṛṣṇa, and so she expands. So she expands here as this Lakshmi, right? And is serving Mahavishnu. She also expands as many other Lakshmis who are all serving in Golok Vrindavan. Here also there are Lakshmis who are serving, right? And then there are Lakshmis here in the Vaikuntha planets who also serve, right? But her question, Kṛṣṇa is that why is there no Lakshmi right next to her?
Karnataka Vishnu
Yeah.
not there.
Why he
It
doesn't?
said that actually Karnataka Sai Vishnu, Lakshmi is there, Mataji. Her name is Rama-devi.
There you go.
That's what.
Yeah. Sometimes they use Rama for other things also. But yeah, so we need to do a little bit more research before we come to a conclusion. But that's a good observation, Mataji. Right? So from our verse from today where we are saying that Kṛṣṇa is saying that I am sometimes inside them and they are sometimes inside me. So what does that mean? This is how you understand, right? So the Paramātmā, in Kṛṣṇa in the form of Paramātmā, in this form is in our heart. And so it's a very interesting thing. So now if you go back to our verse, right? So a person, a true yogi observes me in all beings and also in everything. So when he's a yogi, he's doing dhyan yoga, right? So when he goes and sees, he will see the Vishnu form in everybody, right? Because that's what he's aiming for, a yogi. But a bhakta will see something else, right? A bhakta will see Kṛṣṇa. Yeah, right? Whatever is your mood, that is how you are going to go and see. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying here, that a Kṛṣṇa conscious person can see Kṛṣṇa in the heart of both the believer and the non-believer. So as you see, as you are going from the yoga rukshu stage to the yoga yura, to the complete highest and the perfect yoga rura stage, you know, what you see in the hearts is also going to differ, right? But the ultimate goal for all of us is that we should become Kṛṣṇa conscious, right? And the interesting thing is that in so many of the verses we are talking about, you give up your material desires, you give up, everything should be, you connect yourself with Kṛṣṇa. And I was asking about what is the purpose in your life, right? So, and that is why our Shastras also say, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. What is the meaning of Atato Brahma Jigyasa? Atato means now. Now you should inquire.
Inquire.
Right. So what is this now? What does it mean now? Now means just now, right now. Or what does the now mean? When they are saying, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now you should find God or inquire about the Supreme Lord, right? The now means now that you have got a body of a human being.
Yeah.
Right? Now that you have got a body of a human being, you should inquire about God. So that makes it the sole purpose of our life. And when you start looking at all your actions, when you start looking at all the actions in relation to, is this action going to help me fulfill my purpose? Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Right? If it's going to fulfill your purpose, then it's a good thing. If it is not, then you drop it. Right? So think about that in that manner. So I'm just trying to recall, there's a very nice thing in, I wanted to, how many minutes I have? I have a few minutes only. I will maybe get started and skip to certain things.
Mataji, what is in Google? We can find there all the Vishnus.
Oh, what the search you want? How do Garbhodakya? Search for Garbho Vishnu. Garbho and Vishnu, you can search. And images. Garbho space Vishnu space images, you can search and you find out. Okay, so I was looking at a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. And where is that? Let me see. Srimad Bhagavatam, it will be in Canto 9 is where it should be. Let me see. Here. Let me go and look it up. It is our dear Amrish Maharaj's story. I wanted to bring up that. So library, let me go there. Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Yeah, Canto 9, Chapter 4 is what it is. Okay, let me start sharing my screen here with you.
Samhita, all the slokas are very, very...
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Once you hear Brahma Samhita slokas, then you also start to admire Brahma, that he's really, really intelligent,
Yeah.
the way he's doing that stuti. Yeah. Right? So let's see. Let's quickly go through this. I'm not going to go through all the background, but we'll go to our verse. Maharaj Ambrish, the most fortunate personality, achieved the rule of the entire world, consisting of 7 elements, and achieved inexhaustible, unlimited opulence and prosperity in earth. So one of you had said Bhumandala, right? So Maharaj Ambrish was actually the king of the entire Bhumandala. Right?
Oh,
But he was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudev, and of the saintly persons who are Lord's devotees. Because of devotion, he thought the entire universe as being an insignificant piece of stone. So he is Vigata Kalmashaha. He has no material desires. Now, this is a very interesting piece of verse, right? Couple of verses. Maharaj Ambrish always engaged his mind in meditating upon the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, his words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple, and his ears in hearing the words spoken by Kṛṣṇa or about Kṛṣṇa. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa's temples, and Kṛṣṇa's places like Mathura and Vrindavan. He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees. He engaged his sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of tulsi offered to the Lord. And he engaged his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasad. He engaged his legs in walking to the holy places and temples of the Lord, his head in bowing down before the Lord, and all his desires in serving the Lord, 24 hours a day. Indeed, Maharaj Ambrish never desired anything for his own sense gratification. He engaged all his senses in devotional service in various engagements related to the Lord. This is the way to increase attachment for the Lord and to be completely free from all the material desires. So I'm going to stop sharing here and ask you, so what was the rest of the story? You describe Ambrish, but there's a very famous story regarding Ambrish Maharaj, right? What is that story? I will give you Durvasa Muni, right? Yeah. So what was the story?
So Ambrish Maharaj will undergo he will have the Ekadashi Vrita and he has to finish it the next day. Durvasa Muni also will come and he will say we both will have food together or something, and then he will go and take bath. So Ambrish Maharaj will be waiting, but the time will be up. So he don't know what to do. He has to finish the fasting as well as he has to wait for Durvasa Muni. So he will have water, I think, Mataji. So
he drinks little bit water.
Come back and he will get angry and he will curse him, and the Sudarshana Chakra will start chasing Durvasa Muni. He will go to everybody, even to Lord Shiva, to protect him. But then he will direct to Lord Vishnu and he will tell, no, even I don't have it. And
say sorry to him.
Actually powered by Ambrish Maharaj, who is actually holding it.
Yeah. Thank you for that, right? And there's a few nuances over there that on Maharaj Ambrish's behavior. So yes, Durvasa Muni comes and then he's just about to break his fast, and then Durvasa Muni says, I need to take a shower. So he goes to the river, right? And so now the time is going. So Durvasa Muni Ambrish Maharaj doesn't take a decision by himself. He consults others, which is a very important thing that devotees should do, right? When a situation like that happens, just don't use your brain because it could be influenced by your mind. So he consults with others and they tell him that, you know what? Sipping of water in certain situations can be considered as both breaking the fast and not breaking the fast. So if you take it that it is when we consider that sipping water is breaking the fast, then you have broken the Ekadashi fast, right? And when we say that breaking the fast is not, drinking water is not breaking the fast because you have to eat something, then you are maintaining the maryada that before a guest eats, you have not eaten anything, you've not taken anything, right? Like that. So then Durvasa Muni, when he sees this has happened, then he gets very angry, as our Lakshmi Mataji pointed out. Then he also plucks few hair from his hair, and then he, does something, and a demon appears, right? And the demon was supposed to kill Ambrish Maharaj. right? And Ambrish Maharaj's mind was not perturbed at all. So chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita is talking about Dhyan Yoga, right? Dhyan, you control your mind. So can you imagine? Somebody comes and curses us, takes a few strands of hair, and a demon appears before us. Where will our mind go? But he's unperturbed. By the way, do you know where was this happening? All this event, where did it happen? This incident? He was in Vrindavan. So Maharaj Ambrish is a disciple of Kṛṣṇa. Yeah, this happened in Vrindavan, and so why? Because he's reached that higher stage. Even in Durvasa Muni, he sees Kṛṣṇa, so he will just not react badly. And then of course, rest of the story, Lakshmi Mataji already said that.
Mataji,
and when he comes back, and when Kṛṣṇa says that even I cannot save you because you have offended my devotee, right? And that is why in Bhagavad Gita, that's chapter that we're reading today, these days, chapter 9, is Sammoham sarva-bhūteshu name deshosti na priya, right? If Kṛṣṇa is in everybody's heart, then the same thing is in everybody's heart, then why are different things happen? So he is same to everybody, but then he says, maiti teshu chapeham. But those who are my bhaktas, I'm a little bit more inclined towards them. And Purport explains, in the Purport, he says that it's a natural thing. Like we treat all our children equally. But if a child reciprocates nicely to us, we'll have a soft corner for that child in our heart as compared to others, right? Like that. So it's a very, very natural thing. So Kṛṣṇa says to and then when Durvasa went to beg pardon and beg forgiveness of Ambrish Maharaj gets embarrassed and says, no, you are the exalted one. And then this goes. So that is the kind of behavior that we are aiming for. But I just wanted to mention that, as they say in the various verses, Srimad Bhagavatam also, that that we do not, we just don't look at, I'm lost the thought, what I was trying to tell you from, so we don't just look at people's externals, we just try to focus, and that's, sorry, now I just came back. Like Bhagavatam says that when you do devotional service, right, you get other things you will automatically get. Mystic powers you will get, what people are trying to do to get to Dhyan Yoga. Look at Ambrish Maharaj, what was he doing? He was engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. Right, that's all that he was doing. And then he got that equal vision, he got that vision, he sees, God in everybody. His behavior is like that. That even though the Durvasa Muni can come and do rotten stuff to me, my behavior to him is going to be neutral. And when he comes and begs forgiveness of me, I will still, not get exalted to a higher position. I will still be humble and meek. And why is it important for us to emulate that thing, right? Is that, and I had talked about that last week, as Brahma samsparsha. And I was saying, how do you go and samsparsh the Brahma? It is not that you go and touch the effulgence of the Lord. It is that becoming Kṛṣṇa conscious and thinking about Kṛṣṇa all the time. And how can we think about Kṛṣṇa? How can we be in touch of Kṛṣṇa all the time? Is through doing Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam. And we also pointed out last time that the mood in which you'll be able to chant perfectly is this mood. And that is Trinad api sunichena.
Tadapi sahishna amanina
manadena
kirtaniya sadahari.
Kirtaniya sadahari. So the question is that Kirtaniya sadahari, right? So here's the interesting thing, when people complain and they say that, oh, Srila Prabhupada, it is 50 years since you came, you told them to do 16 rounds, and you know how life is so difficult for us now. We have to go, I've got children, I have to do my job, I'm studying, I'm a student, all that. 16 is difficult, can you make it 8? I'm just telling you Krishna's standards. Kirtaniya sadahari. Sada means always. And the only way that you can do Kirtaniya sadahari will be if you Trinad api sunichena, if you stay humble, if you stay meek.
Mataji, one thing I want to ask you, this fasting, now I feel so guilty because of my medications. I take medication. Without drinking water, I cannot take it. Without little bit, eating fruit or something, then I cannot take medications. A lot of medications I'm taking. So that way I feel so guilty. What kind of fasting I'm doing?
So here's the thing. They always say tadvidi paripatena paripashnena sevaya updeshena jnanam jnanina tattva-darshanah, which is that you go to your guru and you ask that question. And so if you are in a dilemma, you should ask and write that question and ask Vaisheshika Prabhu, right? Another thing is that you just observe what your spiritual master is doing and then you follow in his footsteps, right? So Vaisheshika Prabhu teaches long hours on Janmashtami, right? And you see him with a glass of water right next to him. While the rest of the world is thinking they're very great and we have put Nirjal Vrat and we are doing this and that. And at 10 o'clock, we are complaining. 8 o'clock, I'm hungry. 10 o'clock, I start complaining. By 11 o'clock, my mood is off. Don't touch me. So what is the use of that fasting?
Fasting, it's no use.
As you grow old in age, different kinds of things happen to the body. And even when you are young, you could be faced, like some people have acid reflux. If they don't eat, their stomach is full of acid, then how will you think of Kṛṣṇa if your stomach is hurting, right? So you do things according to the sthane sthita, whatever situation you are in that situation, according to those circumstances, you do devotional service, right? Just the other day, Guru Maharaj was telling, one lady went and said to Prabhupada, that Prabhupada, now I have got a small child, a child is born to me, how do I do deity worship? Prabhupada pointed to the child and said, this child is your deity. You serve him, right? So depending on your circumstances. And remember, now that you have got a human body, athato dhamma jigyasa, which means something really good has happened that we got this human body. So you better take care of your human body. So if your medicine, doctors have prescribed that you eat something and take medicines, and then you have water and you eat something, right? How long does it take to eat something? 3 minutes? Then after that, you still have 24 hours minus 3 minutes to do Kṛṣṇa consciousness, right? So don't feel guilty at all. It is that stage in life where you have to do it. Right? I used to keep Nirjala Vrat all the time, but then I joined a new job where it's very long hours. I cannot keep it. So I will just stay. I will skip breakfast, not drink any water till 12 o'clock. Then 12 o'clock, I will take something. Ekadashi. Like that. So it's not, these are austerities that you do, but it's not like, if you didn't do an austerity that you're doomed and that your devotional life is over. It's not like that. Right? If you remember, in the well, you might not have seen that. There were some glitches, but there was a initiation ceremony happening in Vrindavan recently, and Maharaj was giving that initiation ceremony, and somebody went like, I will do this and I will do that, and I'll do this and do that. And Maharaj said, whoa, 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 wait, don't promise too much, right? Be realistic in your promises also. Right? So that's why when we say, earlier it used to be, when I took my initiation vows, it was like, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, and no sex. Right? Afterwards, I started seeing initiations happening and people coming and saying, devoted disciples coming and saying, others as well, for other gurus as well. So then I think there was some misconception there that people thought that fish is okay and eggs is okay. So they added no meat, fish or eggs, that's fine. And then later on, I started hearing people saying no onion and no garlic. And then when some of them started saying no onion and no garlic, Guru Maharaj said, cut that out. No onion, garlic, because you never know. You could land up in life in a situation where you are with your kids and maybe you're dependent on them, right? And so you have to eat what they eat. So you'll have to eat onion and garlic. So don't make a promise like that. Things change, circumstances change, life changes like that, right? So do everything, and that yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat jihoshi, dadashi. Yat. So what does it mean? Ashnashi means what? What does the word ashnashi mean? Okay, Rachana Mataji, open the book and tell me. Yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, 9.26 or 27, I think. Yeah, 27.
Whatever you eat.
Whatever you eat, let Rachana Mataji confirm.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat.
Yat karoshi, karna, you understand? Karoshi is to do.
9.9. What?
Not 9.9. This is Bhagavad Gita, only one dot.
Asnashi is whatever you eat.
Whatever you eat. Okay, so now tell me one thing. Whatever you eat, Yat tat karashva mad arpanam. How do you offer everything that you eat?
You
You are
offer
eating
to
it.
me and then prasad you can eat.
No, whatever you eat, you are offering. Tat karashva mad arpanam. You are offering what? Yat karoshi yat asnati yat jihoshi dadati yat. When you're giving something to somebody, how are you doing it? Giving it to Kṛṣṇa? Everything you're offering it to Kṛṣṇa. So how are you eating? How what you eat you're offering to Kṛṣṇa, right? So you have to see the mentality behind it. The mentality behind it is that I am eating this capsule. Before this capsule, I need to eat some food because my doctor has told me that. So I am going to do that because I want to stay in this body and I want to pursue Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That is how whatever you're eating, you're offering that to Kṛṣṇa. Other than that physical offering that you always do, but there is a subtle thing as well, right? Your consciousness. And that is what is known as Kṛṣṇa consciousness. When every decision that you make in life, somehow or the other, you're able to tie it to Kṛṣṇa, right? That is what it is. So you can eat without being very guilty.
But Mataji, we are not taking any decisions because Krishna is controlling us.
Yes, in your material life. But when you are pursuing towards spiritual life, then the soul is able to take decisions and Kṛṣṇa helps take those decisions. So yes, Kṛṣṇa still, is governing you, but he will take you in the other direction. Why? Because you turn your face towards Kṛṣṇa. But things are very different when you turn your face towards Kṛṣṇa versus when you have your back towards Kṛṣṇa, right? Kṛṣṇa is all light. Kṛṣṇa is Surya Sam. But if you show your back to the sun, you don't see the light. You have to turn your face and see it, right? So that's why people say that man is the maker of his own destiny, right? They say that if man is the maker of the destiny, what is Kṛṣṇa doing there? Making me do things, right? So we are the maker of our destiny through our desires. And it is your desire that will get your body. And in that body, you will act according to that body. You get into a Kshatriya body, you will shout. Right? But once you start taking devotional service, then these bodily designations are going to go away. Ya karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindam adi purusham tam ham bhajami. Right? It says that when you start doing devotional service, your karmas also get dissolved. So all that is going to happen to your body, the way you're going to react to something and all that those reactions are going to change, right? So when people say man makes his own destiny, we have to understand that he makes his spiritual destiny, right? His material destiny was already in so many ways, yes, defined by him, but it is made possible only by Krishna's granting it to you, right? In the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, again, you will see that for every action, there are 5 factors, right? The action itself, the senses, the body, the soul, and then the 5th one was Supersoul. Like that. So without his sanction, not a blade of glass moves, right? But he'll also give you dadami. That's why Kṛṣṇa is so merciful. In the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, Tesham satata yuktānāṁ bhajatam prīti purvakam
dadami
buddhi yogam tam. Go ahead. Yena mam upayante. Right? So it's tesham satatam yuktānāṁ bhajatam prīti. So very powerful. Tesham, those, satatam, always, 24/7. The kirtaniya sadahari is like satatam. Tesham satatam yuktānāṁ bhajatam prīti purvakam. So they worship me with prīti, love and affection. So what does Kṛṣṇa do? Dadami buddhi yogam. I give them the intelligence. Yena mam upyantite. I give them the intelligence on how they can come to me. So Kṛṣṇa is still guiding you by giving you that spiritual intelligence. Right? So although you are in this yantra, but the yantra is the software that powers this Tesla of a human body. It changes. It's a different program that starts to run in your body. And we have all noticed that in our lives, right? The program is different now that runs our body.
Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. I'm leaving. I have to leave. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Welcome. Take care. Thank you for joining, Sudapa.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions? Any reflections? We are 17 minutes past Sutapa's dinner time. Anything that struck your mind, any questions, any doubts, any reflections that you connected with this and you're thinking more?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. And with Lord Shri Prabhupada. Wonderful
Go
session, Mataji. Actually, you related to Purusha avatars, which I couldn't even imagine, like, I couldn't even relate it actually. Like, we usually read some shloka. As soon as I read this shloka, I thought, okay, you would be referring to 5.18, right? So that one, and even in 6th chapter, we also read that stone, pebbles, everything, right? So that may be related. What other shloka might be related? I was thinking before the class, but wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much. And one more sad news, Mataji. I actually usually write notes in my Gmail in draft because multiple sessions will be there. Somehow your notes I missed actually, unfortunately, so I don't know how to recover it. But today from again, I am taking notes. I don't know.
Well, the painful way of doing that is to listen to the recordings again.
Yeah.
But YouTube,
You know,
you have-
Mataji, it's not the same listening to the recording because it's like you're just on
Yeah.
that.
No,
You're
whenever
not
you tell
participating,
suddenly,
you're just listening, and then it
yeah, and
becomes
some
too
points
long.
will be
Yeah.
some points will be striking us so tiny
Yeah.
that time, Mataji. Those things, usual reference I can take. Whenever you read a shloka, you refer to Srimad Bhagavatam and other shlokas. That I can take from your recording, Mataji. But something of realization that you have mentioned or something would have striken,
Yeah.
we have to follow. That unfortunately I'm missing. I checked in all folders everywhere, but I don't know. But hopefully I receive Mataji.
Yeah, search
Thank
for
you,
some.
Mataji. Wonderful.
Yeah, search for some keyword. Actually, better would have been to save it in Google Drive. Then you stored in Google Drive or Google Mail?
No, in Google Mail in draft. In draft, I have so many. One for you, one for Keshav Priya Mataji. Like that, I slotted.
Oh, yeah, but
Gmail, and I wrote my.
when you have a Google account, you also get a Google Drive, which is sufficient for writing notes. The size,
Okay.
the space
I
that
will
they give
start
you.
doing there, Mataji.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that, even if you delete it, it stays there for some time, and Google takes backups and things like that. Yeah, mail is not a good, a good place to
True.
keep.
True.
And also
Okay.
remember
Okay,
that any
Mataji.
of these free things that we use, like Google Mail and all that, at any time they can just take it away from our feet, and everything will be lost. Like that.
Because
You know,
I'm not writing in the notes because we travel to different, like from here to India to back. I don't know, Mataji. And ship during when we ship from home to home, all these notes wherever it's going. So I always keep it handy in the Gmail so that anytime we refer all
Right.
those notes.
Yeah. So you can access Google Drive also from India, from anywhere.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
In
access
Google
that.
Drive, I will put it.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is Google Drive, the free part is also, they can always all of us. Yeah, that's what happened once with us. We were on Yahoo and we had our whole mailing list was there, and then one day Yahoo just kicked us out. Yeah. So sometimes you can find somebody demonic doing that. So sometimes it is better to.
This I didn't delete or I didn't play with it actually. I don't know whether it went to archive folder, whether by touch of a screen, something happened.
Yes, something happened. Yeah.
Wonderful session, Mataji. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We went to Brahma Samhita, we went to Bhagavatam, we went to 18th chapter, we went to.
And we didn't read the purport of the today's chapter, today's verse.
Yes, we did that, no? We went up to.
You read little bit.
Yeah, only the first couple lines. Yeah.
First line.
Yeah.
Let's go and read the rest of it then. You should. For
because normally we always go back after all the.
Yeah. Anyway, today, but it's very good, Mataji. We didn't go there also. Next week again, we will go in this.
We read that, you read? Ātatatvacha martavascha, ātmahi parmohari. I said that. He's like a mother. Matra is mother.
Yeah, that's living being, up to living being.
Yeah, up to, from outwardly. Yeah.
Okay. Outwardly, also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. As will be explained in the 7th chapter, the lion has primarily 2 energies, superior and inferior. That is 7.4, right? And that which I explained, right? Bhuma, Apo,
Yeah.
The living entity, although part of the superior energy, is conditioned by the inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Even every living entity is situated in him in one way or other, right? So we show the Garbhodaksha, Kshirodaksha, Vishnu thing, right?
Yeah.
The yogi sees equally because he sees that all living entities, although in different situations, according to the results of fruitive work, right? That's what Kim Tad Brahm, Kim Adhyatman, the Arjuna asked that question in chapter 8. In all circumstances, remain the servants of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses, and while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord directly, right? So
Directly,
I was asking, in the beginning of the class, I was asking the question, why do you want
Why?
to
Yeah,
do that? And always the answer is, I want happiness, I want this, I want that, till we come to a stage where you say, I want to do this, I want to retain my body because I want to serve Krishna, right? That is where the 180-degree shift happens. So in either case, the living entity is a servant of the God. This vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness. In either case, every living entity is a servant of the Lord. So you'll be serving the Lord in either ways. If you're just totally materialistic, Krishna will take you through all the kicks that Maya is going to give you when you try to dabble with material energy. You're still his servant. The servant takes the kicks from the master, right?
So we went in this, but we went there. We went to the other chapters.
Now by reading the purport at the end, now it makes sense because we went through all those and then we are coming back.
We went through all those, the chapters and other things, but we didn't go in again.
Now
reading
it makes more sense. Yeah.
Very good, Mataji, today. Love it.
Every time it is very good.
I'm going to increase the price, the fees.
Mansi, if you remember, then to just send me the link for that teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the one that
those verses,
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Vachakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya Hari Hari Bol. The reason that you all liked was everybody came to the class today. So devotees, yes, and that's
and Meera Mataji texted that she cannot.
Yeah, she's having,
Yeah.
Sorry, Mataji, I came after a very, very long time.
Now you're not going.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Okay, so after you came after a long time, what is your? I want to hear your reflections. Like, how did it feel?
Feels very good, Mataji, to be here, say that I want to be here, every time.
Yeah. Just make up your mind, and what you should do is have a buddy who's going to call you when you're not there.
Yeah. I can do that. I can do that for Simi.
You can do that for Simi. That's it. And you say, oh my goodness, Sukumal Radhe Mother is going to call you. I better be there at 5:59.
Simi,
I have to come. If she's calling me, I have to come.
That's what I'm saying.
She has missed even the last two cutting jobs, so she has to make up for everything.
Yeah. That I complained to her Prabhuji also.
I got the complaints, Mataji.
because Prabhuji was there doing some work. And I said, what happened to our regular worker? He's not there.
She was caught up in social engagements. Weddings.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, Mendi.
She's excused.
Just you should have shown first that one.
I'm showing Mendi.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. You should have shown this first and you'd have excused you.
Then we won't say anything.
Mataji, these days I forget very fast, Mataji. Whatever I read, I forget.
So, do you retain the essence? Have you got the essence? What is the essence?
One sloka Kṛṣṇa said that
otherwise,
I will give you forgetful. I will give you knowledge, and then I will give you intelligence, and then I will give you forgetfulness.
15.15. I feel No, but Varshana Mataji, it's everyone forgets. We have this Bhakti Shastri exam in 3 weeks. I have not even started memorizing the shlokas because it's very easy to forget unless you do all 11 shlokas every day, then you can remember.
Yes, you should take a printout of that right now. And put it beside your best
Brahma Samhita.
I have it.
You read it. Yeah. And next every day you do, then you will never forget them. They're not very many verses, right? There's few, and I'm sure you already know some of them.
Yeah.
So Varshana Mataji, to answer your question, once His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj came to our temple, It was the old temple where you used to also come, Varshnavati. And so there was a young boy from Berkeley. He came and he asked Maharaj, he said, Maharaj, you have read so many books, and Maharaj had given a nice lecture for 2 hours and things like that. He read so many books, but can you summarize all that you have read? Can you summarize your philosophy in one sentence? Right? What a question. And then Maharaj said, Jivera Swarup Hoye, Nitya Kṛṣṇa Das. That's it. So Varshnava Mataji, if you remember this, it doesn't matter. And if you act on that, if you act on that understanding, then you don't have to. Right? Are you acting as a servant of Kṛṣṇa every time?
Yes, Mataji, that is there.
There you go.
I always think of that thing, Kṛṣṇa says he became everything and forgetfulness also.
Every day during prayers, I
because this is going to happen. This is going to happen to all of us. Yeah. Loss of memory comes with age. So it is going to happen to all of us. Not one of you will be spared, right?
I'm getting
when Srila Prabhupada was very, very sick towards the end of his pastimes here in this world, he had, so Kanaka Mataji, who's a nurse by profession, so she says that he had no muscle in his body, right? So so inside, the body, there are nerves also. When there is no muscle in the body, there will be bones. Then what's going to happen is that the bones are going to press your nerves. So when the bones are going to press the nerves, you're going to feel the pain, right? So she used to say that I'm very surprised that how come Prabhupada in that stage, when he was just all bones and no muscles, how come he never felt any pain, right? And so, of course, his Sishyas used to take care of him. And one day she said, Prabhupada looked at all of us and he said, this is going to happen to all of you. And imagine surrounded by young 15, 16, 17, 18, maximum 20. I think 21 was the maximum age, or 25 was the maximum age of his disciples at that time. So 25-year-old, what fantastic body you have at that time. And Prabhupada said, that's going to happen to all of you. And so that's something that she was remembering now in her 60s like that. So it's going to happen to all of us. It is happening.
Yes, Mataji. The other day, somebody went somewhere and saw the dead body. Under the dead body, it is preserved. It was written, I am what I was what you are today, and you will be what I am today. So that will happen to everybody.
Everybody, yes.
I am also forgetting, Mataji. And that's why I remember that sloka all the time. That 15.15, I always remember. He gave intelligence, he gave remembrance, and he gave me forgetfulness too.
Yeah. So in my work, when you work, like when you give an exam, you're supposed to remember, right? If you don't remember anything, you can't write anything on the copy, and you will fail, right? But as you progress in life, right, and as you start working in a company and you come to the company, there's so many new things that you need to know about that, how things work, the rules, regulations, etc. You might not remember. There, you're not judged by. If you can remember, that's very good, but you're not condemned for not remembering it. It's not that it's not about whether you know it or not. It's about, do you know where to find it? So if you can say, yeah, okay, that rule I don't remember, but if you go to this drive, this folder, you click on this document, the rule is written there. So they're more result oriented in the sense, right? So you got it, you got the same thing, right? So similarly, when Yavali Mataji, if you don't remember them, there's nothing that prevents you from opening the Bhagavad Gita and reading it with your eyes on it. That'll be a good use of the eyes.
Yes, Mataji, that I enjoy.
Yeah, so do it. Because now the enjoyment will be even more because the verse is familiar to you, right? So you understand the verse, you're familiar with the verse, and then you will start to recite also. You can see that what is happening in the morning calls on Sundays. Yeah, Simi Mataji, if you can make it. They're really enjoying everybody. They're memorizing slokas, left, right, and center.
And every Thursday, Vishnugada Prabhu, he's like Vaisheshika Prabhu's co-brother.
I know, I met him in Puri
Yeah,
and Vrindavan. He came for the yatra.
He
Fantastic
met him.
devotee. Amazing.
He went there. So he always teaches every Thursday. He teach one sloka for her.
Very nice.
And this Brahma Samhita also he started and he taught us.
He's
And I can
amazing,
never forget
singing.
some of the slokas now. Every day, like you said, every day I read that.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. What is the meaning of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya? Every day?
Yeah.
Right?
And upstairs, Mataji, I really enjoy my chanting in the morning because I now turn on the video of Guru Maharaj, make the japa great, you see. So I do the japa with Guru Maharaj, and it
Awesome.
makes me I feel very happy that he is sitting in front of me and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten that before.
Mainly I enjoy this class.
Okay, good.
I'm not coming to California again.
All right.
That bothers me. I want to serve him, and then only one time I got the chance I did serve him.
Service doesn't mean only Vapu Seva. Right? You just don't serve the body of your spiritual master. You're already serving him by distributing books.
I
Right?
always feel that I want to serve him with
Yeah.
hands.
See how you can also serve is that you can become, maybe you already are you? You can become a servant contact for new disciples. You can write to Vidya Care team and you can say that I want to serve spiritual master. Is there any seva for me that I can do from remote Philadelphia? They will give you. We have a lot of service.
Right.
Yeah. And that also Guru Maharaj's service. Yeah.
Mataji, 4 questions book is very nice.
Yes, it's amazing.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. So we need to popularize the book. Yeah. Your friends and families, buy for them. Yeah. Okay. So now this is really, really long now. It's getting past my bedtime. Just kidding.
I'm not getting any sleep.
Okay, then memorize verses.
Till 12 o'clock, I never sleep, Mata.
Chant and then sleep will come.
Yeah, I'll chant.
Okay.
Finish my chanting.
I'm going to take leave because I came out of office for this class. I have to go back to do complete
We'll
something.
let you go. What to do?
All right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Asintu Bhyevucha Patitanam Pavnebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Premanande.
Hari Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Enjoy.